Benevolence to Immortals, welcome to my channel. You can call me Whimsical William. Let's get into it. It's still spooky month, so we're talking about a supernatural story from the maker of Nana Ayazawa. Didn't think it was possible, but it's so good. I'm not here to talk about Nana. I'm here to talk about Last Quarter. Just 2 volumes with this English edition. Really good art. I'll show you some because I've been lacking when it comes to showing the art in these mangas. I want you to see just how good these artists are. You can see that no matter what Ayazawa draws, it's got that Nana style. I have a few mangas from her, and I'm really excited to read some more. Like, I've never finished reading Nana. I've only watched the anime. I've read a decent amount of it, but it was all online. And I kind of know how it's going to end, but I'm really happy to have all of it in its physical edition. Now, hopefully we get more. We've been hearing about Ayazawa possibly continuing it and finishing it, so it'd be really nice to just read all the volumes in one sitting or whatever. But this one's called Last Quarter. I know what Last Quarter means, but that's a spoiler I don't want to spoil. It's something that really ties everything together with the story, and once you realize it, you're basically at the end of the story, and it just feels good to know the meaning of that, to find it out on your own. But I will say this is a supernatural story about kind of like a ghost, but it's more spiritual. It's kind of like what happens to the body and the soul when you pass away. Can it possess another body? Is a reincarnation a thing? This group of ragtag children, like middle schoolers, are trying to uncover the secrets as to why there's a girl in an abandoned house, and she's talking about memories of things that happened before the person was born that is seemingly the spirit. At first, it seems like a pretty point-and-shoot story. Like, oh, this girl, you find out she's in a coma, and her spirit is inhabiting this haunted mansion. When her body wakes up, she'll be reunited with her spirit. But then we find out that the memories that this spirit is having is the memories of someone else. And she's longing for a person named Adam. If you were paying attention to the panels that I showed quickly, longing for a person named Adam, and they're trying to figure out who Adam is. And this girl, the spirit, is playing the piano, and they're trying to figure out what song it is. They're like really researching and trying to help this little spirit out. And later on, one of the kids, really smart, they find out that the spirit is getting memories from a different person. And they find out who that person is. And now the spirit is confused, like, who am I? Like, whose memories are these? And then she kind of stops caring. She's like, I don't care who these memories are. I just want to get to Adam. And then she gets to Adam, and the little kids are like, no, we need you to go back to your original body so she can wake up, so she can live again. People care about you. People love you. And eventually, the girl wakes back up, and she's in her rightful body, and she doesn't remember anything, which is probably for the best, because you got this random group of kids trying to cheer you on and get you back to life. We find out later in the story that Adam was trying to get the girl to come with him to the other side because she reminded him so much of the love that he lost. Adam is a real person. He's European. He's a guitarist. And he had a connection with the girl who kind of looks like the other girl who was having her memories. Kind of confusing, but the story explains it really well and makes it really enjoyable. It's a great take on the supernatural, and it's a great take on the drama that happens when you leave people behind when you are deceased. There's a lot of music involved, which is always powerful. They made songs together, and there was so many, connections that were felt like Easter eggs, but they weren't. They were just little bells and whistles to the story. The characters are amazing. They all have their own distinct personalities. And the spirits, though complex, they have simple goals. They just don't want to fade from existence, and they want the people that they care about to connect with them. And I think that that's something that we'd all want if we became spirits, or when we think about passing on to whatever plane or whatever happens after this existence. We don't want to be forgotten, but we want people that we care about to not be burdened by us, but to still think about us. We don't want people falling apart. How am I supposed to exist without you? How am I supposed to get through this? But at the same time, don't pretend like I never existed. And I think that was a very strong theme of this story. Adam doesn't want to be forgotten, and he's lost one of the people that means the most to him. And he's coming to terms with the fact that he has no power. But every once in a while, he has a little bit of power to connect to the human world. And he uses that to be able to find the woman that, he missed. The woman that he just can't seem to connect with through the spirit realm. And the closest thing he could get was that girl who had a lot of similarities to the one he lost. And so it's kind of sad. I wanted to pull you with me, but it wasn't her time. And she's not the person you lost. So you have to come to terms with that. And the kids are only we know what was going on. And I'll give you one more detail of the story. So only one girl in the group of friends, I think it's a group of 5 friends, can actually see the spirit and hear the spirit. But the reason why the other kids believed was because the girl was able to get the spirit they call Eve to write something, and they saw the pen moving in midair and then a notebook, and then they saw what was written, and they were like, wow, this is real. This is insane. So all of them grouped together and we're gonna help her, we're gonna help her. And I just think it was a really sweet, cute story, and it was never scary, but it was deeply emotional and deeply realistic, even though it was supernatural. It feels like that could really happen. It was just a lovely story, and I'm not surprised. Ayazawa is very good at human drama and creating a narrative that makes you think while also being simple enough to think about, but complex enough to keep your mind wondering. So yeah, it was a great story. If you have a short attention span and you don't want to read a giant novel or, 50 JoJo books or, 40 volumes of a manga, you just want to, pick this up, check it out. It's really good. It's not scary. It's a little spooky, but being the subject matter of, being deceased and the supernatural fits right in with the month. It's absolutely incredible. Once again, this one's called Last Quarter, and I hope you give it a shot. And by the way, Viz Media did a really good job with this. It's very, very well made. It's got a nice, sleek design, matte kind of finish with the glossy lettering. It's a very nice manga, really high quality. It's very easy to read. The spine doesn't feel like it's gonna rip apart like Vagabond or other Viz Bigs. They kind of feel like they're flimsy and not really made well. The glue is kind of poor. This one felt good, so once again, give it a shot. I'm Whimsical William. Thank you for checking out another video. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. That's the goal. And after that, gonna get some more. Until next time. Peace.